Yo, welcome to the Hive Hustle, the captivating podcast that delves into the great world of street culture.
It's official now. The Hive Hustle podcast about to sit you down. Go and fix your crown. This ain't a grain of salt. Pick your brain and thoughts, even through a major loss. Still remain a boss.
I got my bro here with me. Man, I've known him for a minute. He produced and mixed and mastered, not produced, he mixed and mastered and helped record the intro to the actual podcast. My bro Duce.
What up, man?
What up, man? Welcome. How you feeling?
Thank you. I'm feeling good, man. First of all, let me say thank you for having me. I'm humbled and honored to be here. And I'm very proud of you and this podcast. The space looks great. You know what I'm saying? So let's just get that out the way right
Hey,
at the time,
man.
man.
I
You know what I'm
appreciate
saying?
it.
Like,
You've watched me build it since literally like 2018, 2017, you know what I'm saying? Since I first built Swarm Brand. You bought one of the first Believe shirts.
yeah,
You
you've
know
been
what I'm saying?
grinding.
And it's been great, man. It's been great. But this ain't about me.
All right.
Don't do that. Don't try to do
It's gonna be
that.
about you a little bit.
No. Listen,
Okay.
now, Brooklyn, New York to
Yeah.
Las Vegas.
Mm-hmm.
Tell us your story, bro. Who's Deuce?
Whew, man, such a loaded question. Me personally, like, who is Deuce? On what level? On what level?
Professionally, entrepreneur, musician, obviously. We
Uh,
know that you're a musician. We know that you're an entrepreneur. So on that level, who are you?
Yeah, I'm a semi-retired artist
Okay.
that's mainly working on the production side now, as far as like mixing, mastering, that level, recording a lot. I got a lot of music out.
Yeah.
If you go search me, Dregz Duce, Dregz Duce,
Okay.
on pretty much any
Any
streaming
platform?
platform. And, got a lot of music there, from over the years. Yeah, that's pretty much who I am.
Okay. So you do music,
Yeah.
born in Brooklyn.
Born in Brooklyn.
You said you came out here when you were around like teenage years.
Yeah, I moved out here in 1994. And, I'm a child of the hip hop generation.
Mhm.
So, growing up in New York during the 80s and the early 90s, where hip hop pretty much was the
My bad.
dominant force, right? And also where the East Coast was kind of dominating hip hop at the
Yeah.
time. But then moving out here to the West Coast in about 94,
When it was popping.
where the West Coast started
Yeah.
to dominate hip hop,
Yeah.
really and truly. Because they really started like around 92 with like the Chronic.
Yeah.
But by 94, it was like full swing.
Oh,
like
yeah. You had
Doggy
Easy E, you had
Style.
Doggy Style, you had
Yeah, like
Tupac, you had all that.
Right, and it was just, there was a shift, you know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? And I, felt lucky to actually like move with that shift.
That's crazy to think about. So you
Yeah.
grew up in New York while hip hop was like literally in
The
its
biggest-
prime age,
right.
and then you moved to the West Coast right when West Coast was
Became-
it. Damn.
Right, and then, after that, subsequently, the South had its time, then the Midwest, you know what I mean?
And then now it's
And now it's just
international.
open, yeah, exactly.
Motherfucking Koreans rapping and shit.
Yeah, they killing it.
They doing the damn thing,
Hell
bro.
yeah, they are, you know what I'm saying? For real.
So, Lost Wages.
Mm-hmm.
What is it, and how did it get formed?
Okay.
And give us that.
Well, Lost Wages, obviously it sounds like Las Vegas.
Yeah.
And it's, one of the monikers of the city. You know what I mean? It's built on Lost Wages.
Yeah, literally.
And it's a collective that we started around 2001, 2002-ish. And me, my boy Epic, my boy Press 7, Bluesy, G Fatigue, a lot of the original founding members. And, we put out a good amount of albums and whatnot.
Okay.
And, we represent the East Side Las Vegas, and we make music out here.
Let's go.
Just putting on for the
Bro,
city.
I was born in Chicago, but I was raised on the east side of Vegas.
Oh, that's
you know
what's
what I'm
up.
saying? Like Crystal Palace
I
was.
didn't know you was born in Chicago. That's great.
Yeah, bro.
I just came back from Chicago.
I know. Yeah, I was born there, St. Anthony Hospital,
Okay.
and we lived on the south side, all of that,
All right.
and that's where my name comes from. You know I'm saying mafioso. My
That makes
family was
sense.
definitely a part of the mafia when I was younger.
That is a little Italy right there too, isn't
Yep,
it? Yeah, sure is.
exactly. And so
Before you get
ultimately,
to like Cicero and all that, whatever the case.
you stop that. I
What?
see what you're trying to do.
No, I'm asking. I just
You're trying to switch this around, dude.
nah, not at all.
I'm just playing. But yeah, East Side of Vegas is my shit, man. I remember seeing y'all when I was growing up.
That's what's up.
I
man.
moved out here in '92, bro,
That's what's up.
and I was like 6 years old.
Right.
So, lost wages.
Little baby.
So you said you had founding members. Now, do you guys have like newer members that you put on?
Yeah, I mean, over the course of time, members came and went. Some of the last members to really be put on, and more so in name than anything, because we're not as active as we used to be. But like Ron B, you know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
Like, he's definitely lost wages. You know what I'm
Okay.
saying?
Yeah.
He could rep that.
And that's, if you don't know,
You know what I'm saying?
Ron B is actually the person rapping on the intro. When you say Hive Hustle, like that's him. So old Junior Mafioso, that's my bros. And
He
they
spazzed on that.
Yeah,
track,
he
man.
spazzed on that track
He went
bad,
crazy.
bro.
Like, first of all, like, we be joking around like, don't no one give a fuck about your heart and soul. Like, they just don't.
Yeah.
But he still put his heart and soul into that one, regardless. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? For real, for real.
Yeah, and the great part about it is it's not just a song for the podcast. Like, there's a lot of people that can relate to that.
I told
It's
you,
very
it's
relatable.
my new workout song. I was using
Literally.
I was running a mile with it just on repeat. It's
Let's
like super
go.
motivational.
Hell yeah.
In like every aspect.
So now, your influences. Who's some of the biggest musical influences? Obviously, you're a musician. So within hip hop and without like outside of hip hop.
Wow. Well, let's start with outside of hip hop, because growing up in the '80s as a real young child, my influence was probably more non-hip hop first.
Really?
Like
Okay.
Michael Jackson,
Yeah,
The
obviously.
Barge, shit
Ooh,
like
Da
that.
Barge.
Yeah, you know what I mean? In the rhythm of the
Yeah,
night.
bro.
Shit like that. You know what I mean? Was like really my jam. Also, like my mom, my whole family's from the Caribbean.
Okay.
So she would play a lot of calypso and like soca music in the house, things like that. And so those are like my influences. My favorite artist, kind of cliche, is Michael Jackson. So, you know what I mean? And he was a humongous influence on me. When it comes to hip hop, I mean, it's like almost too many to name. Like, it's such a gumbo pot of what I was listening to, from 3-6 Mafia, 8 Ball MJG, to Gangsta Nip, or Cosmic Slop Shop, to Brother Lynch, to
Brother Lynch.
E40, to SIBO, to, the Alcoholics,
Yeah.
to DMX, Snoop Dogg, Biggie, Nas.
Bro, you just named insane rappers and hip hop artists. Like, yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
Just that.
Bone Thugs.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They don't get enough credit.
No, they don't. They built the whole style.
I mean, they got songs with Mariah, Easy.
It's official now. The Hive Hustle podcast about to sit you down. Go and fix your crown. This ain't a grain of salt. Pick your brain and thoughts. Even through a major loss, still remain a boss. Resonate with greatness. Celebrate creators. Ain't no blanket statements. Elevate and claim it. So amazed, I'm making the way for those in need. Mold the lane, showing change in the growing me.
Tupac, Biggie.
Their collection
They
is definitely.
they got
vast.
a
Yeah.
crazy catalog.
So,
if
okay.
you stop and think about
So
it.
you say Michael Jackson,
Yeah.
obviously the Barge, and the '80s. So we were just talking earlier before we got on the show. You said R&B influenced you a lot too.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about that. Obviously, I'm an insane R&B fan.
So modern day R&B is something that I kind of like fell out of love with.
Okay.
Until maybe like my boy Blue and like R. Kelly started like getting active, like before
Before all that
right,
crazy
right.
crap. Yeah.
And I kind of got back into it. But when I say R&B, like Motown, you
Yeah.
know. So when I say like Michael Jackson's my favorite artist, I'm talking about from like when he was like with the Jackson 5.
Yeah.
You know, and everything that he's done, you know, like Motown for real.
Obviously.
And like Rick James, the newer
Okay.
Motown, Smokey Robinson is like God to me, you know what I mean? So modern R&B is something that I'm really into now. Like Chris Brown to me is like GOAT.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And
This
like,
day and age, for sure.
and had that situation didn't happen with like him and Rihanna, I feel like this dude would be like the biggest artist on the planet.
Definitely.
You know what I
But
mean?
what artist doesn't have some type of controversy? Let's be honest.
Yeah, but it's like when it happens. You know what I mean? Like if you're able to get off
Oh, yeah.
and reach the heights and then a scandal happens is one thing.
That's
It's
what
another
Mike
thing,
did.
Right. If a
Mike
scandal
got there.
Right. Hits you early on and now you're not able to reach
Yeah.
those heights.
That's the hardest part.
And I feel like that's what happened to Chris.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? 'Cause
He was a couple, not even 2 albums in.
yeah, but like even like Blueface, you know, it's funny because he jokes about it, but he's being dead ass serious. He's like, man, he's like, you picked the wrong chick to beat up. He's like, I beat up Krishan Rock and don't no one care. He's like, I get away with it. He's like, you hit the wrong one. It's the most fucked up thing to say.
But
Think about.
it's true.
But the thing is, it's like, yeah, like you hit like America's princess, bro. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
it's like
Literally.
Riri, like, what are you doing?
Yeah,
like,
literally.
for real, the wrong one. You know what I mean?
Hey, okay.
They're all the wrong ones. Let's
get that clear. Don't be
get that
going
clear.
to hit
They're
girls
all-
out here, y'all.
No one hit anybody.
Yeah, just be
No
love
one
and
hit
peaceful.
anyone. Men
Please.
don't hit men. Women don't hit women. And women don't hit men and vice versa. Like,
In all the genders. Just don't hit
Exactly.
each other.
Exactly.
Let's just stay away from each other. All right. So apart from your music career, you're also known as obviously as somewhat of an entrepreneur. Can you tell us about like some of the projects outside of that? Obviously, I know personally you have a whole studio.
yeah.
You get what I'm saying? So obviously you built that yourself.
Yeah.
You know, like it's a nice, really nice setup. And in reality, outside of that, like what else do you get involved in?
You know, I got my hands in a couple different bags. On the music production side, like right now, I'm actually working on a project with Black Silver and Rusty Jukes,
Okay.
Duck Down Productions, and doing all the engineering and mixing and mastering on that one for
Okay.
them. As far as other things I got going on, you know, I dabble in show production
Okay.
on the festival side, and I do a lot of work at music festivals,
Dope.
doing different things depending on which
What
show
they
I'm
need,
on,
yeah.
right? So, you know, I just try to keep myself busy
Yeah.
with things like that, and then you know, I'm a hustler, man. Like
Growing
know,
up in Vegas, we
yeah.
was just talking about that last night at the lab. Growing up in Vegas is you learn how to be a hustler. Sorry. One of our assistant producers back there is going a little insane.
he going ham.
He's okay though. So, yeah, I tell people all the time, I'm like, bro, in Vegas, there's so many different ways to make money.
yeah,
Like, if you're, like, literally, this is the city where you can really thrive.
it's a lifestyle choice, you know. I feel like a lot of entrepreneurs are, you know, I look at myself as an entrepreneur, but like I was telling you, like to me, I feel like maybe not on the largest of scales, but you know, I decided a long time ago, like I'm not going to have a regular 9-to-5 per se.
I'm going to interrupt you.
Yeah,
The reason I'm going to interrupt you is because you were one of the first people that made me want to be self-employed. I want you to understand that. I know a lot of people that are self-employed,
right.
but there's not a lot of people that literally don't know where their next check's coming from and still make ends meet.
Well, yeah,
And that's not an easy thing to do.
that's the challenge.
And that's my point,
That-
is
like I
you've
said-
always had, since I've been watching
Right.
you, you've always had your hands in many different pots.
Yeah.
You've always known how to maneuver and do what you got to do to get around. And like I told you earlier before we started, you inspired a lot of people that you probably don't even know,
I appreciate
which one of those people is me.
I appreciate that.
So I'm gassing you up, bro.
No, I appreciate that.
You're
man.
going to take it.
I know. I appreciate that. I mean, like I was saying, you know, it was a decision that I made, and it was like, okay, well, I'm not gonna have a regular 9-to-5, so there is no guaranteed check coming. So every day the mentality is you get up and you're hustling.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that's part of that New Yorker in me. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
I
It's like
feel you.
hustle. And even when like I got something scheduled here and I got something scheduled there and I got a couple of days off in between, that I'm not necessarily pressed to have to go work. I still get up
and go to
and
work.
go work
because
and figure something out.
Yeah.
Because it's not guaranteed. But
and it's better to work more than less.
right. But it affords me the flexibility that I want, the life, you know what I mean, in my life.
Bro, it's
And I
been
enjoy that.
it's been a game changer for me. You know what I'm saying? Like being self-employed and doing what you need to do when you need to do it, and not being locked down has literally given me the freedom to be in my kids' lives more.
Exactly.
And that's one thing that I learned from you, just to be honest. Like when we first started talking about this Swarm brand stuff and like how I wanted to build it and how I wanted to grow it, like that's what you were speaking to me about. I wasn't even married or had kids yet. You're speaking to me about how the fact of being self-employed gives you the ability to be with your family. Go pick up your kids if you need to.
Yeah, absolutely.
Go, your son is messed up in school. He scraped his knee. Okay, go pick him up. We can go do what we got to do because I'm good. I did what I needed to do every other day.
It's funny you say that because that's probably one of the major reasons why my lifestyle
Changed.
did formed into this.
Yeah.
Because when I did have my daughter, I worked at nights. Like I used to have a 9 to 5, but I started working nights so that way I could still be a stay-at-home dad during the day. And my schedule was always crazy, but anyone with kids know, like to actually be able to drop them off and pick them up is a stupid schedule. Like no one, like there's no job that you can have that allows you that time because they want the kids there like 7 and they want to be picked up at like 3:15 or whatever the case. Like
And most jobs you're working
Right,
at
you're
both of those times.
exactly, or one or the other. Like it's very difficult. So like to be a stay-at-home parent is dope for people who are able to do it. Or if you have assistants,
Yep.
they say it takes a village. You have nannies,
Yeah.
grandparents, whoever.
Same here, yeah. And that's
pitch
another
in.
thing, we rely on our parents a lot. When we want to go out as me and my wife, we rely on them a lot.
And you should,
and they're available, and that's the great part about it.
Yeah, you should take full advantage of that.
Oh,
As
we do.
much advantage
We
of
do.
that as
We do.
possible. For real.
Best believe.
Oh yeah.
Now, this is the last question.
Okay.
Okay. Like I tell you, I'm not trying to make the 2-hour, 3-hour podcast. Like I want to get to know you, let people know who you are. And from there, we have a little fun, drink a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Ooh. Ooh, that was nice. Oh, that was a lot.
Got me looking like a lightweight.
I told you I drink socially, bro.
Me too.
And we get it in. You know what I'm saying? So, you're a father.
Yeah.
You rap. You write music.
Yeah.
You produce. You engineer. You have other projects you do. What are some of the personal struggles that you've dealt with being a father and trying to balance everything?
Wow.
Because obviously, that's another thing I like to get into is people and what they did to get past that hump. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, prioritize. People put their energy into the things that they want to. Bottom line, there's no secret to that. You do what moves you and makes you tick. So if you are a genuine, dedicated parent, you make your children your priority. And everything else then figures out how that fits in.
Damn.
And not the other way around.
Hey, that's some bars.
So, that's always been my approach.
Okay. Priority.
Yeah.
Definitely. Hey, man, I'm appreciative of you.
Okay, hold up. Before we're done, I do have some questions for you, though.
Oh, come
I do.
on.
No,
Here he
no.
goes, y'all.
No, because I think some people want to know a little bit about you. You know what I'm saying? So
He did it.
Nah, for real. So I've always wanted to know, personally, what got you into dancing? Like, what sparked that in you? Like,
Okay.
who was your inspiration?
The first time I remember like me dancing was like I was like 6 years old, and I seen Mike.
I'm telling you.
First thing I seen. Then it didn't click until I was like a middle schooler.
Right.
When I was a middle schooler, I met the homie Akeem, and the homie Dominique. And they knew how to like wave, they knew how to like hit, and like a couple other things.
Right.
And so I learned that. And then to be totally frank with you, man, what really pushed it was roller skating. When I went to the skating rink for the first time, it changed my life.
Right.
I was a aggressive rollerblader. Like I knew how to grind. I knew how to go down pipes.
Right.
Like
good street skating.
Desert Breeze Skate Park
Right.
was the spot. I was there all the time.
Nice.
In like 11, 12, 13 years old. And just when I stepped into the skating rink, I couldn't go to the skate park one night. And my mom was like, you need to go somewhere. I'm like, well, I don't have no money. Okay, well, here's $10. Go to the damn skating rink. It's $6 to get in. You got $4 to eat. Do what you got to do.
Right.
I'm like, okay.
That's back when $4.
It's literally $10 could go a long way in the 90s. And
yeah.
so ultimately, I stepped in. There was 2 dudes in there. One of them was named LeVar. One of them was named Mecca. And they were insane roller skaters. LeVar was on 4 wheels. Mecca was on rollerblades.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, wow. And that changed it. 2 years later, I'm 17 I'm like 3 or 4 years later, I'm like 17. And LeVar's got me on Ellen. And I'm 17 years old. We get flown to Bakersfield, go into the studio, and we
Welcome to the show, let us all begin. Introduce a new approach to evolve and win.
roller skated on Ellen. I have a VHS tape of it.
That's dope.
First time ever performing. And then it literally there was no turning back.
So, but that was with the skating.
Oh, but I was dancing on skates.
So
And then when, okay, I moved up to the south side of Vegas after my high school years, and I found Crump.
So we were talking about this earlier, and I was saying it facetiously, but this is
can't
true
with you.
though.
Here he goes.
This man right here, we're announcing it now, is the godfather of Scrump.
He's totally joking.
But I'm not. Oh,
It's what everybody's been wanting me to do. They want me to roller skate and Crump at the same time.
yo.
We gonna figure it out, man.
All right, but look, if anyone steals that idea, you see, we
we put it on wax.
put it first, because people be trying to jump on the wave
I
after.
understand.
You know what I mean? But drip drop, it came here first, right?
Literally. So, okay.
Okay, so another question. What goals would you like to accomplish with the Hive Hustle podcast?
Just get consistent content on my YouTube channel, to be totally frank with you.
Okay.
I've had the YouTube channel for like 10 years, and I've been really motivated by a couple people that I'm following that have YouTube channels, and I watch podcasts. Like, I don't watch TV. I watch podcasts. I watch people having conversations and something that can benefit me, whether that be a Christian podcast that's uplifting, whether that be the R&B Money podcast with Tank and Jay Valentine, whether that be the Need to Know podcast, because I follow a specific artist on that show. Like, podcasts are great, and I want to shed light on Vegas artists, street culture, because street culture changed my life. Like, literally, like roller skating, street culture. I'm not even joking. Made by black people. Like, the roller skating I do was made by African Americans.
Yeah.
Crump, African Americans. Popping, African Americans. Everything I do.
You're not African American?
No, I'm definitely not. But the point, I can't
I'm
with
learning
you.
so many new things about you.
I can't
This
with
is
you.
crazy.
But the point I'm making, bro, it's not my culture, but it shaped my life.
Well, it is your culture.
Yes.
Because culture is not defined by skin
Race.
color,
I
right?
understand
Exactly,
that.
so.
But I didn't.
Like, we're all the hip hop culture.
Yes.
Like, and the hip hop culture is not a black culture.
Yeah.
It's actually very diverse. It's what makes it the
what
hip
it
hop
is,
culture.
yeah.
Right. That's one of the things
get
that
you.
makes it that.
I get you.
So,
And I just want to highlight anything I can highlight in that culture because it shaped me. Hip hop, crump, roller skating, even going further as like some of the pastor figures in my life. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like
yeah,
if I can
absolutely.
interview them eventually, I will.
That's dope.
So ultimately, it's just a matter of I want to shed light on people that inspire me. And if I can do that in a YouTube fashion and create great content for people to see and people to watch and people to get inspired by, that's all that matters.
That's dope. All right, final question.
Oh, here you
Final
go.
question.
I hate him.
How has being a husband and a father challenged you and changed you for the better?
Well, I was a husband before, and I've always known how to be in a relationship. You get what I'm saying? Like, I was a relationship guy in high school. Like, I dated one chick for probably like 2 or 3 years. You know, I've always been a relationship person. But one thing I never was a father. And shout out to my wife because she's holding another baby right now. You know what I'm saying? And that changed my life drastically. And being a husband this time around changed me because my wife had a son when I met her. So when I'm going into the relationship, I'm immediately thinking about other people. As when I married my first wife, and I was so young when I started dating her, I was very selfish. So, like, this just experience was totally different. And then nobody really knows this, but I didn't know I could have kids. You get what I'm saying? So, like, not thinking, going all this time, not thinking like I can't have kids, and then it happening. I'm like, oh, okay. And then Jace was like, I didn't have to take medicine to have Jace. So now I'm like, okay, God, you're doing something here. Obviously, I'm on the right track. So let me keep going. And that's what drives me. Like, I tell people all the time, I'm like, single people with no kids sometimes piss me off. Because I pissed myself off. I see how motivated I am as a human now that I have children and I have mouths to feed. Yeah. It's a whole different world.
How many kids do you plan on having?
Oh, this is the last one. She's getting...
Oh, okay.
Or I'm getting...
Right.
One of them.
Or the both of us.
Like,
just to make
fuck.
sure. Just to make sure.
Excuse me. Sorry, YouTube. Yeah, you can't be cussing on YouTube no more.
Right. I mean, you know.
But the point is, like, I'm done.
Yeah.
I got my boy, I got my girl, and I got my bonus kid. Like, Landon is my
Bonus
brother.
kid, right.
Like, I love Landon to death.
Yeah.
It's my little bros. You know what I'm saying?
No,
like, so I have what I have, and I have what I need, and I just need to keep going. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man, I'm proud of you. I see what you're out here doing, man. I see what you're trying to build for you and your family, bro.
Yeah.
Just stay on that course, man.
I'm really trying to do something totally different because I didn't grow up with this. I told everybody on Lamont's episode, I said, bruh, my mom literally told me, you need to go to college.
Right.
And I have a GED.
Right.
I never went to college. But my life experiences and hip-hop culture and street culture helped me become who I am today.
Who gave you that work ethic that you have?
My mom.
Your mom.
Literally. Like, my mom's 62. And she helped me come tear up this carpet.
That's what's up.
She's 62. When she had her gastric bypass surgery, it changed her.
Yeah.
And now she's able to work. Now she's able to do what she loves. She's able to, like, she throws Aria around. Yeah. So, yeah, man.
That's phenomenal.
So we're not asking no more questions.
Shout out to moms.
Shout out to moms for helping me pull up the carpet in this mother. Dang.
Today, for sure.
But yes, hey, this has been another episode of the Hive Hustle Podcast featuring my bros Duce. I appreciate y'all. Y'all mean the world to me. Subscribe, notify, all of that. Do what you got to do, and have a good one.